Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grimwood Games and our Geekout interview. We are interviewing Rose from redroseworks.com, also known as Tiffany and also known as Tiffany Rose. You go by all kinds of names.
Mhm. I do so many
Hey,
things in the industry, so I have names for it all.
you do. I know you guys won't believe this because everybody here thinks I work too much, but she does more than me. So,
Yeah, I do a
um,
lot. I mean, it's my full-time job, so, all my time and devotion and effort to kinda just get
so
sucked up. Hello,
For
everybody.
people for
Hello.
people who don't know who you are, why
Yes.
don't you give a little blurb about who you are, what you do, and how come you're awesome?
Yeah. Well, I am Tiffany Rose Nickel, TR Nickel, or Rose. Like I said, I do a lot of different crazy things in the industry. I have Red Rose Works. I am the Rose, and Jerry Red Shepherd is the Red, and together we work. And we are a game publisher and a group of authors. So we have two game systems that we've launched. So we have Dungeon Race RPG, which is our big system, and then we have One Page Dice Dungeons, which is pick up and play, which Dave actually got to play at Page. So we can talk about that later. I am also an author, and I have written a plethora of different titles. But the big one that I have is The Legends of Limoria, which is a high fantasy world, but written like a D&D campaign. So you have your backstories of individual characters all interconnected in the same world before they come together in book five for that big campaign adventure. And then I also work with a plethora of big industry names like Chaosium, Luke Gygax and his Okram world. Um, Oh man, I've worked with Xcrawler and DCC for their Crawl for a Cure. I've worked with Studio 66 with their Arpex Legends, and making that into
Everywhere and anywhere.
yeah, I just so many names. And I'm also a publicist, and I work for Dungeon Damsel with their Druskara Shadow Dark world setting.
Nice.
So, doing all the things.
Doing all the things.
All the things.
So,
Mhm.
uh, I'm gonna keep this kinda casual because,
Love that.
I mean, you gave me a hug, so I figure we're friends now. So, um, 1, I got a beef to with you. I went
Me
to go read this.
yeah.
It's book 2.
Yeah.
I have to get book 1.
No, you don't.
No?
No,
I can
they're
read
all
it by itself?
standalone. Yeah, they're all
Oh, okay.
standalone. They're all interconnected. They each have their own main character, but they're all a part of, like, the bigger world. And, it's book 5 that's, like, where they actually all come together.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So you actually can read them in any order.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Book 1 is just the beginning of it all, you know? So it's Zalia, who was my first ever Dungeons and Dragons character. I didn't get to finish her story in that campaign, so I spent 5 years building out all of Limoria just so I could write about it. And I do see a comment about the conspiracy theories about Lemuria, and so that is so crazy. So I actually looked into that when I was building out the world, and I really liked the idea that there's just this sunken plot of land that was just gone, and like they believe it maybe could be Atlantis. Like there's a bunch of conspiracy theories around it. And so in my head there's like this mythos, like this fake own conspiracy theory in Limoria that we were once from a different dimension or different realm and we popped out of the ocean. So
Nice.
it's funny that that was popping up for you because it is
The
Limoria and Lemuria. They're very similar.
um, so when you start writing, do you start with the world or do you start with characters? Like, where do you because I know different authors do different things.
Oh,
I'm definitely a world builder, so I
mm,
start with the world. But
yeah.
what do you do?
Um, I would say the crazy thing is it's more so individualistic. Like Limoria was character first. Zalia is what inspired the whole world, right? So without her, the
Right.
world wouldn't exist. But the rest of the characters didn't exist until the world existed. And some of them only exist because of plot reasons. And so it's really interesting. Normally I'd say um for every other story that I've written, like for anthologies or like to my parents' disappointment or fractured instincts, it's been about why am I telling the story? So, like, why, what's the point of this? What am I trying to say? And then all the characters and magic and sci fi and all the other elements in genre, all of that kind of begins to shape around the why am I telling
Why?
the story? Yeah.
Which is the difference between an author
Yeah.
and a because I don't care about the why.
Yeah. Well, it's narrative versus playable,
Right.
playability. So it's yeah. They're
Uh,
2 different, necessities, you know?
yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Um, so you have so much on your plate. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Mhm.
How do you find time? I know it's your only job,
Yeah.
but it still takes you have priorities that have to come into play. So how do you feel you handle taking on different priorities, like managing
Like,
them?
in terms of both work and life or
No, just work.
just
I
work?
mean, yeah. I mean,
Um,
I'm not going to intrude into your
yeah, I
life,
mean, I
but
don't mind
yeah.
talking about it either way. I have no life. That's that's the key.
I
Uh,
mean, me too, but
just having no life. But for me, it's deadlines are a big part of it, and also effort to do it. So, like, some things are really easy for me to do, like, just naturally. Like, I'm really good at coming up with stuff, right?
yes,
So
you are.
when it comes to like planning out for like GMing the actual play that I'm going to be in, like things like that, um it's like this. It comes to me within seconds. I can type out a full outline in under 2 hours, right? Of what it is I want to do. So I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna save that for later, and I'm gonna focus on the things that's gonna take me longer to do, like editing, right? Like, so doing copy edits for a 110,000 word document, that's gonna take me time, and there's a deadline on that, so I'm gonna chip away at that as much as possible first, while also then maybe, doing other projects when my brain starts to lag, here on my editing. Then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to use my writing brain, or here I'm going to use my develop brain, and publish brain. And I just kind of hop between that. I hope that makes sense. I have ADHD. So it's like my
It
brain,
does
it
make
thinks it,
sense.
thinks it makes sense of like, I
As
just,
somebody who has ADHD, it totally makes sense. It's how I function too.
yeah, it's like I do all the things at the same time, but like I know which ones are going to take me
So
longer.
I'm going to say something that is pretty controversial in the industry.
Okay.
I write and layout, and that drives people crazy.
I don't think that's crazy. I think that
Oh
saves
yeah.
time. I
Oh my
think that
god,
saves time.
people I tell people that in the industry that I write and
Yeah.
layout, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
I will
I'm
say
like,
as an editor, I would hate you. That
"Oh
is
god, yes."
as an editor, I would
But
hate
I always do try to when I when I send it to the editor, I always convert it.
you.
It's
Yeah.
easier for me to convert it from layout than it
Mhm.
is to
Are you doing
just
the layout all yourself? Like,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
doing
I do the layout all myself, yeah,
yeah, so you're just saving yourself time because now you know how many words actually fit in the space that you're trying
correct, yeah,
to fit all the graphics in as well. So
right.
I do that sometimes too, depending the project, but yeah, as an editor, I'd be like, "I'm not looking at this document." I'd be like, "Go get me the big blocks, please, and
Yeah.
then I will look at this document." I
No,
will
I always make sure it's converted into a Word document for my
yeah.
editors, but I definitely can't write that way. I have to see it pretty.
That's so
My
interesting.
brain just says, "Let's make it pretty," and,
Pretty. Yeah.
that's the reason why. Plus, I actually get, like, a theme of the game
Mm,
through
sure.
doing the layout,
So you're
so that
this is still ideation for you. You're
yeah,
doing ideation in layout. That's
yeah,
crazy. Okay, that is a little insane,
yeah.
I would say.
So
Yeah.
but that's how I do it. It works for me. I mean, we'll see how it works when I start doing 6 books at a time, which I'm starting to.
Yeah.
But
Just gotta
right
pump them
now
out.
it works.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so I have to talk about this. So at Page, I played your one-page
Yeah.
dice dungeon. Um,
You played the
this game
D6
I
system.
played the D6 system, and it was
Mhm.
super fun and super easy. When you
Did our
GM, do you have a huge layout, or are you just do you improvise mostly?
well, so you saw the setting sheet,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
That's it. That's everything. That's all the encounters, that's all the NPCs, that's all the setting. All of it was right there on one page for me, right? And like that's a part of what we sell is like it's literally a one pager. And so I make my job, yeah, you can actually showcase it a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's everything. Everything you would need to know is right there on one page. And so I just was following that my own adventure that I had already displayed. Now, granted, I have ran that setting so many times, the Coast of Gerard, that I do take some liberties and I do expand and I build off this lore that I've like have in my head now that doesn't actually exist for this world yet. But that's me as a GM familiar with the material wanting to expand and expand and expand.
Okay. So we already have a question,
Mhm.
which is interesting. What's the hardest part about being in the industry?
Oh man. There's a lot. The hardest. I would say,
I, I'm gonna answer before you.
go for it.
I say it's the convention circuit.
Oh,
Having to do
really?
the convention circuit, just
Oh,
finding the time
it's my
and the
favorite.
energy, and I love going, but
Yeah.
finding the time, the energy, getting
Mm.
prepared for it, making sure you have everything prepared for it.
I would say at this point I'm so well you like rehearsed. So like 2
I'm
years
new,
ago I did
so
46 events in a single year. The year after that I did 42 events and this year I'm doing about 36 events. So I'm very well like this is my go bag. I don't even unpack my car half the time. Like this is just like I only have a week or two in between when I'm going to my next show.
See,
Um
I'm very new. I'm only doing 14 events this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So,
So, no, and that's amazing. Doing 14 while also working a full-time job, you
yeah.
couldn't have caught me doing that. I had to quit all my jobs so I could go tour and do all this stuff. Like, I like, that's incredible. I would say for me, the hardest thing might probably be, um the upkeep. Like, you have to constantly be grinding. You have to constantly be looking for that next thing, even if you're overwhelmed and you're, like, drowning at the moment, like, all the fire you have to stoke so many fires at once, hoping one catches, but then you'll have this amazing thing happen where all of them catch at the same time, and now you're just like, "Oh, no, I'm on fire now."
Don't tell
And
me that. I can't afford that.
yeah, and, you just find a way through it, but I would say that's probably the hardest, is, like, you can try to capacity plan, like, to a T, and I'm a businesswoman at heart first, like, I come from a family of entrepreneurs, I was a bank manager prior to doing all this, like, I am business focused, but, it it's impossible because you don't know when that demand or when those things are essentially gonna come at you. And, yeah, the second lowest thing is, shaking people's hands. So you have to find a way to get into the places that you shake the right people's hands so you can stoke those fires. So, I would say
That
like that.
that is true.
Those are
Meeting
the
the
hard
people.
parts. Yeah, yeah.
Though this industry is a little bit less I found it very welcoming.
Oh, it's super welcoming. It's not
Oh,
unwelcoming. It's just finding the right door, really.
yes.
And what conventions are industry
Worth it.
centric. Yes. Like Page is a good industry one. Gary Con is a good industry one. Um Origins used to be because it's Gamma, and it
Okay.
can be if you're looking for distributor and, like, things like that, that's probably still a good industry one depending what your goal is. Um, so that's all dependent, but it's finding which door is the right one for you to essentially get in and shake those hands, like, knowing the people. But it's all
Mm,
welcoming. I It's very rare that I've had someone be, like, abrasive. Only one time have I experienced someone walking up to me and being like, "Pff, I don't read anything written by a woman." One time.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that would just burn my goat. I would just try harder.
yeah, I just
Like,
burst out laughing at him. I really did. I was like, "I don't even know how to respond to
to
that."
that. Yeah, like,
Like,
how
that
do you respond to something like that? Like,
yeah.
ah,
I'm not a very, like, angry, aggressive person per
I
se, like, it takes a lot to ruffle my feathers and, like, to actually get a mean reaction, you know? So I just was like, "D Okay, fuck you, I don't know." Like, "Great, I don't wanna sell you my book then."
I am so glad I have the adult tag on this.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry. I know I look sweet, but I got a foul mouth like a sailor.
so many people in our industry do. Um,
Yeah.
so what has been the most exciting thing that has happened to you since you've been in
Most exciting thing?
Yeah,
I guess there's, like, 2 full circle moments that I've experienced. The first one is Limoria, right? So, Zalia was my first D&D character, and, like, I created a world. It's now becoming a game setting. And so, like,
nice.
you'll be able to play in the world that was inspired by a game, you know? So, I think that is, like, a really exciting thing, and I can't wait to hold that in my book, like, that book in my hands and being like, "Look at this." Like, I wish I still had her character sheet. Maybe I could find it to like showcase, you know, where she came from. But the second one is getting to work with Chaosium because when I was in high school, Call of Cthulhu was the first TTRPG I ever played. And so now getting to work for the company that owns Call of Cthulhu and like
Right.
produces it, I think that's like a really cool for full circle moment of like my introduction into this industry. And now I'm getting to work for that company.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, those are very exciting moments, but there's a lot of them. Every month, every week, I feel like there's a new thing that rejuvenates me and, like, reminds me why I'm doing this. Like, it's not an easy career, but it is one that's really fulfilling.
Honestly, just having somebody play my game is exciting.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. When someone
the
gets into their character or, like, into the lore, yeah.
I had somebody at Christmas time. I had a sale going on, and he
Mhm.
was like, "I can't afford it until after the sale." I said, "Not a problem." I extended the sale, and he
Oh.
bought 5 books. He bought one for every single one of his players.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
right there, I'm like, "That's a group that's probably playing this somehow."
Yeah.
So, um, but anyways, things like that excite
Yeah.
me. Um, Networking sucks, but it's also the most rewarding behavior.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it
I
is.
mean,
The most important skill, to be honest. Like, it is a very, very important and, skill for people to develop, and you gotta develop it quick, and you gotta develop it early. Um, and this industry makes that easy because, like Dave said, it's very, very welcoming.
yeah,
But
very much so.
yeah, I also, love, uh, networking. I did it a lot in a lot of my previous jobs, and so it's just getting to meet new friends and, like, new colleagues, really. Like,
I
networked, right?
I
Like
love. I mean, meeting you was great, and then
yeah,
I met like a whole bunch of artists that I'm going to start using for my
yeah.
books. Um, and then just so I've seen Paige in every angle. Almost. I've
Mm,
seen it as a developer. I've seen it as a person there just to run and play games. I've
yeah.
seen it as a vendor now, and like it it is one of the best conventions
Mm,
that I've experienced. Um, uh, because it is so opening and so willing
mm,
to help new players in the industry meet older veterans.
yeah.
Um,
Like getting
uh,
to meet Frank Metzer, you know?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
fantastic, yeah. Like,
Um,
I will never forget running a panel at GaryCon, where there was supposed to be a few of us on that panel, but it was just me and Ed Greenwood.
really,
And so me and him just had, like, a conversation in front
oh
of an
my god,
audience for, like, an hour, and it was the best, and so,
I would
like,
die.
now me and him are just buddies, and, like, it's great. So every time we see each other at an event, he's like and we always have, like, a little chat, but I'm hoping to get him in a game,
Ooh,
and run something for him or get to experience one of his games because that would be fun too.
I mean, I love playing in your game. I would play in your game again and again.
You're welcome anytime.
Because it was so much fun. Like it was just the way you explained the world was
Mm,
just there for me. It just
yeah.
made sense. Um, especially the pirate. I
Or
was listening to a song today, and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, this is the scene that Rose described.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was like, it was the Flying Dutchman song,
Oh,
um,
that yeah.
by Jolly Ranchers, and
Captain, my captain.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
uh, what you have so many things on your plate. How do you keep excitement for each one?
Oh, man. They're just so vastly different, I think. I I tend to not work on similar projects because I don't ever want things to blend or like bleed over into one another, especially with writing. And like writing for other people. Like I don't want to present the same manuscript or something. So I tend to really isolate and kind of like make little boxes in my brain of like this is this project. Um and each one has its own rewards, you know?
Mhm.
And moments of like you crack the case, you know, like it finally clicks in your brain and that you hit that flow state and you're just like putting out 15,000 words in a day, like, and just you're pumping it and pumping it and pumping it. And I don't know, it's really hard to describe. I just love this is like breathing to me. I when I was I've done a lot of careers in my life and nothing get I used to write I wrote 13 books before I ever published one or even considered it, and it's because it's just the thing, it's my lifeblood, it's the thing that I have to do to survive. When I don't write, it's life doesn't feel worth living, And so I really it every project is just like another reason to keep going. It's just one more thing and it's like climbing up a mountain, like it's just
Which
one
is
more foothold.
funny you say that. I don't actually know. I hate.
What?
I do.
Get out. It's the
I
best.
like the world building. Um, uh, I don't like writing plot.
Oh man, I love all of it. I love creating in general is just
I mean,
fantastic.
I know that's weird. I was really bad in English
Oh,
my
sure.
entire high school career and
Yeah.
college career, and I'm like, you told high school me that I was going to write 3 books, and they were going to be role playing books, and I was going to get them self published and do all that. I laugh in your face.
Yeah.
No, that no. Um, but here I am. So.
I mean,
Uh,
you never know. I would have never considered this career, even though I had written almost my whole life. I would have never considered being an author or even working in this industry ever. Like, that would have never been in my mind. I thought it was unrealistic. I thought publishing my books was a stupid fantasy, and that, I all I was ever gonna be was the mundane. I was never gonna have that moment. I was never th I just wrote it for me, you know? And it wasn't until I met other authors and they started talking to me, um and telling me like, "No, you can do it, like, it is something that
yeah.
is possible," and I was like, "Oh, well, maybe I should at least try," and I am a very ambitious person, and so when I decide that I'm gonna try something, it's not like, "Oh, I'm gonna dip my toe," it's, "I'm gonna cannonball," and, see how that goes. So,
Okay. So what's your favorite game that isn't yours?
I feel like that's sacrilegious to even say one because
I
I
know,
I work on
don't
so
you?
many. Oh,
Um,
no. Um, oh, okay, well,
you could
I'm a
escape out of this one. You're on a channel that produces a game.
yeah, I haven't played it yet, so this is
I know.
lying, and I
I
can't lie.
need to get
I'm
I
terrible
need to
liar.
get you to play it. We need to get you
Yes, I
on that
wanna
game.
play it. It's my future favorite game, there you go. Um, I would say I'm a big horror fan, and I just really love chaos, and so Call of Cthulhu probably still is one of my most favorited
It's a great
RPGs
one.
I've ever played. I love running it, and it's just so much fun. I don't know, like, I get to make people lose their minds, or I get to lose my mind, sign me up. And it's so investigative too, and I love, like, a good, murder mystery type thing, you know? Like, it's if you can't see, like, my wall up here, my whole house at one point was, like, red string and papers on every surface that I could find. It looked like a noir detective's office, you know? And so Call of Cthulhu just kinda allows me to play in that, but I probably have played 5e the most out of any system. It's probably been 5e, and that's because it's
It's the
you
system.
have yeah, you have 7 I have 7 years in a campaign, you know, like, you kinda just it's those games that you meet weekly with your group, and so there's
Very
that.
much so.
Yeah.
But then again, everybody here pretty much knows how I feel about 5e.
You don't like it or you like it?
I think the system is fine. I
Yeah.
think there are better systems that do the same thing better.
Mm.
Let
Yeah.
me so that's my personal opinion on 5e. It's not I have major issues against 1c, but 5e itself, it's a good system. It's just
Yeah.
not
I
I
think
wish it wouldn't take 3 hours for one con.
oh, sure,
That's the
yeah.
only
I will say I like, just getting to play with friends. So put me in any system and I'll probably enjoy it because
pretty much, yeah.
yeah, if I get to role play or I get to GM, like, I'm good. Like, that's those are my requirements.
I mean, the first thing I do in a convention game is I go out and do something role play wise to see if
Yeah.
anybody jumps in and plays.
Yeah.
Um, because I can tell right from the get go whether it's going to be a fun game or if it's going to be a mechanical game. And it's
Mm,
not necessarily the mechanics that aren't fun, but they're two different type of games.
sure, yeah.
Um,
I
so
I think it's really cool, when you sit down and you actually start dissecting all these different systems, you know, there's that rule, right, that nothing is unique, right?
right,
There's no such thing as unique anymore. Everything has existed at some point, right? Like, in terms of
right,
ideas. There's only, like, so many stories to that can be told, right? Like, before they're re
yeah.
like,
What is it?
repetitive,
Like
right? Like, that's why
16 or 17?
yeah, that's why tropes exist, right? Is like it's because it's common. Like it's gonna happen over and over and over again. And so when you actually sit down and you start dissecting all these systems, you're like, oh, well, I can see, like, especially at the published date, you can say, oh, they got inspiration from this game. Oh, they stole that from this game. Oh, they
Yep.
They thought about this and with this one, and they were just tweaking it a little, and you start to see the skeleton of just this, like, rooted system where it's all repetitive, like, all the systems all steal from each other, borrow on each other's mechanics, like,
Oh,
um,
definitely.
it's just really how gritty are they? Like, how much is it the number crunching side or is it the role play side? And, like, they both intermingle with each other, but it's really
I
those 2 those 2
I
big categories.
really try in my games to get narrative crunch is what I like to call it.
Mm,
Where your crunch is there, but you have to narratively explain the
yeah. I
crunch.
like that. I like
Yeah,
you having to explain the numbers and role play. I don't like to just say I did the thing. I like
right.
you've been in my game. I like to describe how the thing occurs. Like, give me if you're using thunderclap, don't just say, "Well,
Tell
I use
me.
yeah, tell me what happens. Like, you clap your hands together and boosh, you feel boom, boom, boom. Waves just pulse out from your hands, and you see everyone around you cover their ears and scream as you rattle their brain. That's how you describe that, right?
Right. Um, I also understand that not all role players can do that
I
too.
know.
So you
That's
have
very
to,
true.
um, do have to have some
That's that's
leeway with the people who can't.
that's the
But
good DM's
that's where the
job.
DM can
Yeah,
step in and do it for them and give
exactly.
them that experience.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
team effort. No one person is the star of the show. Everyone needs to, everyone needs to participate and, be part of
hey,
the
Pete,
story.
not to interrupt you, Peter. I need to get you on to run one of your games on the channel. Um, sorry. Um,
I
things
love
come up.
playing games.
Come play. You're always welcome on the channel to play.
Love
Um,
playing games.
I'll keep you. You're not part of my Discord yet. Do you do Discord?
I don't think so. Yes.
Yeah.
As a
I'll
gamer,
I'll,
you have
I'll
to.
send you a link to my Discord so you can
Sounds
join.
good. Yeah, I'm the
Because
worst at, looking at all the different discords that I even the ones that I technically work for, I don't even I'm really
me
bad.
too. I
It's
have so much.
there's like 8,000 notifications and, like, I don't need to know what everyone is saying, sometimes I just need to know that specific information.
I
I'm really bad
focus
at
on
it.
my server, and then I have like two or three servers that I focus on, and then kind of casually look at the other
Yeah.
one. So all right, so we've talked about networking. Um, so you've written quite a few books.
Lot, yeah.
Um, what would you say? What advice would you give a new writer?
Ooh, um, while I have my little like, okay, is this just to a writer who's writing or someone who wants to be in the industry?
Let's do a writer that's writing, and then we'll talk
Okay,
about the industry.
yeah. To someone who's just writing is just write and speak your truth because you're doing it with authority. So you need to make sure that what you're saying is what it truly is. And you have to just do it. So we come up with excuses all the time. We're too busy. This got in the way. I don't have time, blah blah. Everyone has those excuses, and I did too. And there's a lot of times I leaned into those excuses as to why I didn't want to do it that night. I was too tired and I had a long day at work. You're always going to have an excuse. And the more that you allow yourself to believe that excuse, and fall into that excuse, the further the goal gets away, of actually finishing that project or finishing that manuscript or whatever it is you're working on. And so you just have to write and you have to be dedicated and you have to force yourself to sit in that seat, whether it's 2 words or whether it's 10,000, whatever you can do in a day. That's what you got to do. You have to just write any chance you get. Lunch, on the way home in a voice memo app,
Hate to
any
tell you, I mean that's pretty much the same advice I give a role playing designer
mhm,
too. Is just right.
just gotta do it. It's
Um,
really it's easier said than done, and everyone on that side who is saying just do the thing knows that it's that hard. Like it's very easy to say the words, but we've all had to put through that effort. There was times where I was working 3 jobs. Most of my life I've worked 3 jobs, and I still wrote multiple books in that time frame. I still wrote and published a book while I was working 2 other full-time jobs. I started a business, you know? And so it's just like I just stopped giving myself the excuse of, "Well, I don't have time," because I did. I was watching TV or I was watching, you
Right.
know, like or I was going out with friends, and there's that sacrifice portion that comes in, is like you do have to give up some of those things and the you time because you're doing this for you, the future you. And,
Mhm.
that's really hard because, I mean, who doesn't wanna go out and hang out with their friends or their family or like, unwind after a long day of work, you know, like, those are normal impulses, and you kinda have to, like, ignore that and say, "Nope, I have work yet to do," and sit down and do it.
I like to say I have 4 jobs.
Yeah.
My full-time job that actually pays for the
Mhm,
insurance,
mhm.
writing RPG books, running games, and then the YouTube channel,
Yeah,
because they are so demanding
they
that,
are. I used
um
to YouTube back in the day. I will not tell you my old I did pretty okay, back in the day when, you know, I was 16 and there weren't many gamer girls on the internet, and so I, uh I had a lot of fun. I found a little community and made really shitty videos that people watched because there wasn't as many out there in the world. I don't know if it would have survived to this day, but, I never stuck around to find out.
they might it's a lot of work.
It is a lot
Um,
of work.
so when you design a game, when do you start thinking about mechanics? Because you seem to be a world builder and a lore builder. So when do you start thinking about mechanics?
It's really funny you say that. I see them as 2 very separate things. So, like,
They
one
are.
one page dice dungeons, I created the D4 system before any setting was ever made.
Nice.
And, same with, like, the D6 and the D100, you know, systems is like I was just sitting down, I was like, "This is the setting. This is the mechanic that I'm building." Um, and so it had nothing I didn't see them as equal parts. I was like, "This is how the mechanic is, and then this is how the setting is." Like, both kind of coexisted at the same time, but they in my mind, they had nothing to do with each other. They're like I'm just sitting down to do the mechanic. Like, the world building and all of that had nothing to do with my, "This is how the game works."
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, because I definitely start mixing them quickly.
Mm. Well, we have 2 different types of systems we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yours is you're talking about, like, a campaign type of system where it's built into the world, right? And it's
That's
very
true.
yeah, it's very dependent on on that world and in that story, where, like, the D6 system, you could take any setting ever and play it in that system. Right? And so it's like setting agnostic. So it has not like it's so its own thing that can play with any genre. It can play with any, you know, it could play with your world, like your the world lore and all of that. Like you could play the D6 with that or the D4 or the D100. So it like those are two very different things. So I mean with Dungeon Race RPG, again, like the mechanics and what the world is, there is some intermingling once we're building out what world, but in reality, the mechanics are standalone and we just intergrade and move in different worlds because we have a sci-fi world, we have a fantasy world, and we're actually we just today converted 42 separate 5e characters into the core system of Dungeon Race RPG. And so we
Nice.
changed a system and put them into ours. So that way we could run a 42 person tournament, you know, in 2 weeks. So, I mean, like, yeah, there's things like that where like I think of them just very individually, I guess. So I like rip them apart, and it's like, and Jerry's like DRR is her baby, and it actually started with like her world, and she like started ripping it apart, being like, well, we want other worlds too, and so we kind of like finalized that. And she's been really great at finding a way to make it independent, where in the beginning when she first was developing it, it was this married thing to a world.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't think there's a right way to do anything. So
No, me either. I don't either.
we
I
all
think
do our
everything
own thing, yeah.
that's which is funny because the question we have is what kind of
Mhm.
fantasy hasn't been explored? Um,
Oh, that's a really interesting.
I think every kind of story has been
Yeah,
told in RPGs. I
100%.
don't think you really haven't you can find a system to play any kind of RPG on
Yeah,
any kind of
same with
setting.
books.
Um,
Like I feel like fantasy oftentimes is like we see it very singular. But as like an example, my series, it's high fantasy, but it's pre-apocalyptic. So like the world is ending. It's just in a fantasy setting. And so you're seeing how governments and individuals and people groups are trying to handle the end of the world before as they see it coming, right? So it's like that's not a typical fantasy thing. But it is in a fantasy setting. So I
I
guess like yeah, like it's that I think with fantasy it's just can we find those little like the little nuances, like the little
I mean,
things.
the way I handled my fantasy in Plaguebound was I created an alien race coming down
Mm,
and smashing into it. And then
that's
I
nice.
said, I don't want these aliens to be humanoid. So I made
Yeah,
them a sentient, oily plague.
yeah,
So,
I like that. I mean, yeah, Drakenheim from the Dungeon Dudes, right? Like
hmm
eldritch horror fantasy.
hmm
That's sick. I love that.
yep.
Um, so I feel like it's like if I had to choose a trope that I haven't seen a lot in fantasy, like as a reader and player, I would say it would well, I'd say it's like what happens when all the adventurers die? Like the TPK, the party's TPK, now what? And like you got
You
the
know,
villagers who are
there's a,
looking at like the big bad being like, "Oh no."
I want to mention this.
Like, I feel like there's so much opportunity in stories that come from that line of thread. It exists. There's definitely ones of that exist, but I haven't seen it flood.
There is a book called Inked,
Mhm,
and it literally is you can take any character and bring
mhm.
it into this world, and it's your character making it through the afterlife, trying to get back to their realm.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah,
It's super amazing. The actual character doesn't do any fighting. They have this monster that comes with them. It's super awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm like, I have, like, these crazy dreams where they're like, I feel, smell like, it feels very real, right?
have
Like,
you
I
ever
wake up and I'm like, "Huh, where am I? What what world, do in which am I existing?" And so, like but I'm never, like, the main character. I'm this, like there's the Marvel universe, but I'm like the the sidekick. Like and not even the sidekick, but like I'm literally on the sidelines watching the heroes do the thing and I just happen to be able to intermingle with them, right? And I want more stuff from that type of character's perspective of like you get to watch the heroes do the thing or the heroes die, but what are you doing? Like on the sideline there.
I
I
have
like that
woken I have woken up from dreams and been like, I just need to go write
idea. Mhm.
and just write for 3, 4 hours. None of it makes sense when I reread it, but it
Yeah.
once I clean it up, it usually does. So question,
Yeah.
uh, 2 actually. Dave has mentioned that you're the best GM ever.
Oh, shucks.
What would you say is the most important skill slash quality a GM can have? And as a GM, what is your top priority at the table?
Top priority is ensuring everyone is having a good time. And I know that seems like a very generic thing, but it's it's like more about watching everyone's interactions with each other and with what you're describing and ensuring everyone feels safe and comfortable and encouraged. I go crazy. I go big out and I'm like very descriptive and I use my body and I stand up and it encourage I set the tone for my players to give me it, right? Like I do the big embarrassing stuff to make them feel more comfortable to like have fun and just truly enjoy themselves. And sometimes like yeah, like you just have to swallow that pill of like, yeah, I'm going to look like an absolute fool crawling on the floor right now. You have no dignity as a GM. Like you're there for like the um you're really there to get them to come out of their shells, especially in a convention setting, right? Where
Right.
everyone's a stranger. Um, but then I would say, like, the most important skill is being a good storyteller. You have to be able to weave in the slightest nuance of something someone says. Like when he that the portal gun, Sweet Pea had the portal gun,
Mhm.
right? And bringing that back into full circle moments or like he'll do something stupid and then like 10 minutes later and then boom he like shoots out from a portal that everyone had forgotten about for the second. And so it's like things like that of just being able to interweave the environment with the story that the players are telling.
Yeah, that's called
Yeah,
improvisation.
and that's a
It's
skill.
really important.
Yeah.
It's
And
really important.
yeah.
Um, Pacing is important too, though.
Yeah, I see
I
what
have
you're saying, pacing and creating engagement. Yeah,
and
for
to
sure.
be honest, if I don't and this is not offense to most DMs, but
Mhm.
if if a DM's not standing up and getting excited about the game, it's not nearly as entertaining for me.
Yeah,
Having that energy is really a key to
mhm.
driving the game.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. I think the GM sets the tone, 100%. If you have a GM who's like, "All right, so, you can everyone roll initiative and we'll see." And then, like and they're, "Okay, so what are you doing?" And,
yep.
like, if you're like that versus, like, you're like, "All right, now as you feel the ground rumble, I need all of you to roll the initiative." And then you're like, you were quick on your feet and you thought you had already prepared for this. You have that alert mind and like and kind of telling that, you know what I mean? It gives a very different
It gives a very different, and I'm not saying that you have to stand up in it, but
right, yeah.
that emotion that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to be ready to
Get up in the
dedicate that
face.
emotion to it.
Yeah.
Um,
There's
you
times
have
I
to
would sit down, like and
you have to open yourself up emotionally to
mhm.
your players.
It's like
Is I guess what I'm
acting.
saying.
Yeah, like
Imagine.
yeah, you have to, like, shut
Um,
your own brain down and be like, "I am here for the singular purpose. Nothing exists outside of this
which
moment."
is really hard when you've had 17 hours of con and you need
Yeah.
to run a game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, people ask all the time how Jerry and I are, like it'll be, like, 2 in the morning and we've been at the convention since, like, 6 AM,
right.
uh, and we're like, "Yeah, da da da," and we're still jumping up on chairs. They're like, "How you do it?" And, I go, "Well, there's such a thing as just faking it." Like, the moment we're out of view, we're like we're, like, dead. Her and I are not speaking to each other, like, we're dead inside, we're, like, not there's it's very rare you won't see a smile on our faces, but in those moments, we are not smiling, like, we are just dead. But we it's our job. We put on a show and, like, we give it our all even when we feel like we have nothing left to give. It's just we're really good actors in terms of
That's all it
that
is, right?
energy, because that
You
energy
just
isn't actually there. We're dead.
um
Ugh.
I definitely learned that actually from you this con,
Mm,
was that I needed to give one thing I learned was I needed to at least be there for my game.
mm.
And I did learn that from you.
Oh,
Um, and because after I had my game with you, I started watching other DMs
yeah,
in the con, and I was like, wait, so I had so much fun at Rose's game. What is the difference between these DMs? What's going on? And it was giving your all to the
yeah,
game. Um,
100%.
so I will. Oh my god, I'm having allergy attack. I'm sorry.
Everyone okay, so twice, uh, Dead Mage says, "I would assume you had so many people ask that. So many people are like, "Are you on coke?" And I'm like, "No." This is what is, like, years of not sleeping and, like, over caffeinating does to someone's brain is, like, they have this delusion that there's actually energy left inside of them.
I won't say anything, but I mean, I've been known to make sure that I've had a second pill in my ADHD medicine.
There you go. There you go.
Um, on long days.
Sometimes
Technically,
you
I'm
just
supposed
gotta
to take two, but I don't usually.
you just got sometimes you need that whatever's gonna pep up your step, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta get ready
Um,
and go.
so all right. So I'm trying to think of my questions that I had written down that I didn't bring up. Um, so when you sit down and write a character,
Yeah.
whether it's in a book or you're planning a game session,
Mhm.
um, how much do you put yourself inside that character versus looking at it as a third person?
Um, I so when I write, I am the character. So
Okay.
I push Rose out of my mind and I am Zalia or I am Renatus or I am insert character name here. And I think like them, I act like them, and then I find my way back to me later, once I'm done writing. And it's like I essentially just imagine that I'm in the scene, like as I'm writing. I'm not seeing words on my page. I'm
Right.
seeing the landscape in front of me. And it's just like having a hallucination. And it's just
Are
really,
you sure you're not doing the coke?
I'm sure, sure. I have a great imagination, I'll tell you. It's one of my superpowers.
I consider it one of mine
Yeah,
too. And I
yeah,
actually have to thank my younger brother because
yeah.
he's 7 years younger than me,
Oh,
and
so you
then
really had to lean into it.
around the time when I would have lost my
Mhm.
imagination, he forced me to continue playing. My parents forced me to continue playing with him, which made
Mhm.
my imagination grow.
Yeah, I was a
Um,
nanny, so it was the same thing.
so
Like,
yeah,
yeah, working with kids is it really just kept that brain, and you get that with your younger brother. Um, but I do
sorry.
when I'm outside of that mind,
Yep,
right, is I do look at it from all of the characters' perspectives, not just the main character. So I know at all times what the antagonist is doing, right? And I know what all these other characters, sideline characters are doing in those moments. And so like there is this god viewpoint that I have where I am the master and commander, and but then I'm also that individual, and I swap between those when I'm reading it, like, and knowing like, oh, I need to add this here to allude to what this person is doing, or this conversation should have happened here. Like when I come back to it, I'm that god, right? But then when I'm doing my pure right, I am that, I'm in the moment, I'm in that head. Yeah.
definitely, 100%. That's
Mhm.
pretty much where I'm at too.
Yeah.
Um, even when I'm writing a role playing game, I'm when I'm writing lore, I'm looking at it as a person in that world.
Right, like
Um,
you're writing the history book.
right.
Yeah, like you've been there to see it all or, like you are the historian. Like you have that authority. And sometimes historians aren't right, sometimes they're purposely not accurate. They're unreliable characters and that's also sometimes fun because then that gives players to explore and find new things that
I
weren't yeah.
I purposely leave my history and my descriptions vague enough so that
Mm,
GMs can modify them and manipulate them
and
how they see
explore.
fit.
I
Yep.
love that. That's amazing. That's
Um,
exactly what you should do. Leave it up enough for interpretation that people can kind of come in and create their own. Now, you have that canon in your head.
oh God, I
You
have
know
like
exactly how history went down. I wrote 5,000 years. I know everything that happens in,
I
in
have like
yeah,
in Ironbound, I have like 10,000 years worth of history,
yeah,
and
yeah. So you
none of it's in
know.
the book.
Yeah. Oh no. You see 1%. You see 1% of that
I
history.
think I have like a page of history saying the settlers came over from this country and they brought
Mhm.
iron, and I was just trying to explain how ironbound came about the word. Um,
Yeah.
but um, in general, I wrote history upon history upon history of that
Yeah.
to describe that.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean,
uh,
I think as the creator, we need that, right? Like, we need to know all of that. We need to be hard rational as far as you can go on that scale. But what
right,
we present to the readers or the players can fall on the spectrum of, visibility and knowledge.
absolutely,
Mhm.
and I mean, for a 150-page book, I typically write almost 1,000 pages of stuff
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
just to get those 150 pages the way I
Right.
want them. But I think we're at an hour. How you feeling? You good?
I'm good yet. I
Okay.
I I was like, I am a gabber.
I'm
So,
a gabber too, so that's my problem. And we didn't get a chance to really gab at Page. We both
no, we
were really
didn't. Yeah.
busy.
Dun, dun, dun.
It
Fantasy
looks like
writers do have our own. I can
yeah.
never pronounce the how to say that name.
So yeah, me either.
It's
I'm not
something brilliant, and I can't ever get that first part and the second part to actually connect when I try to
connect.
say this word. I'm like the Lord of the Rings Bible, Tolkien's Bible.
W- We all have that.
Yeah, we do.
Um, I mean, as much as I'm not a Token fan, um,
Well,
I just his.
most fantasy authors don't like Tolkien's work,
I
and that's what
just
people
he's
think
just
that's
so
wordy.
not yeah wordy.
It's
I don't
very
need to know what they're doing on the third day of camping when that doesn't really
yeah.
portray to the plot,
I
um,
can't be
or
mad at
character development.
he paved the way for fantasy, so all like
I
he's
know,
he
but
walked so we could run, you know what I mean? And so I do respect the work. I do not enjoy the work. The Hobbit,
exactly,
different story. I like The Hobbit, you
yeah.
know? And it's just I can't get behind the
I,
the
I, I
5-page description of a mountain.
exactly.
Do it.
The I just can't.
Mm-mm.
And let's be honest though, yes, he did pay fantasy, but there were other authors that were going that direction too
It's
at
true.
that time.
Yeah, none
Um,
none more so than him, but there were a lot of fantasy was not invented by him, that is
no,
for sure.
um,
Um, it's one of those things that, like, there's
makes
the
you wonder.
father, right? Like, the figure in which all can move forward with.
It does make you ponder, like in another dimension, in a sliders type dimension
Yeah.
where token never existed.
What would happen?
What does fantasy look like?
Oh, man, I have no idea, to be honest.
I
I
mean,
'cause, there's so many it would have happened at some point. There would
Oh,
have been
yeah.
another Tolkien at some point because, again, all stories are retold, so,
Right.
like, I'm sure prior to him, I mean, that's what do you think mythology? Like,
Mythology,
it's
you
like a
have
watered down mythology
I
when
mean,
you think about it, right? And
you
so
had Gulliver's Travels, you had the Grimm fairy tales,
yeah,
eventually it
so
was gonna happen.
yeah, so I was like, there was going to be if there was not Tolkien, there would be a another who would tell a similar story. It may have been slightly different, maybe not done by a linguist who created multiple languages to go along with the story until years later, but the story would have been told, either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so is there anything we've really been talking to about ourselves, but what do you have coming up that you want people to know about while we still
Oh
have
man.
people around?
So many things. I have book 4 of the Legends of Limoria series coming out soon in the next few months. It is Daughters of Mira, and so we get to see goddesses for the first time in the series, and
Ooh,
the yeah, the how it all works and what essentially happened to the doorways 500 years prior to the ancestral war. So that's like a super fun, you know, little tease for you guys. So what was the beginning of the end of the world? What was the thing that actually started the doomsday clock? As magic is dying now in the world where we see it in the other books. Um, but then after that, I have Chaosium. So the stuff I've been working on for them for RuneQuest. We are doing some teaser stuff at Genghis Khan. And so if you're going to Genghis Khan and you're looking up my name, we have some like teaser of new like material that's coming for RuneQuest this year. And that will also be running that stuff at GaryCon as well and Origins. So you have like a few opportunities to kind of see the sneak peek before, it eventually becomes what it is. And I can't say too much, it's a secret project, but there's the teaser things. And then I have actual play that I'm going to be jamming for Rem's Alternative Productions YouTube channel for The Legend of the Five Rings. So you can see a bunch of cool samurai in feudal Japan type era go to a festival, and what could happen?
I
What
love those
happens
historical
when
games.
a collective of people come together, to have a good time? Nothing bad, I tell you. Uh,
I've played in one of your games.
yeah,
It's gonna
nothing
be
bad.
destruction and chaos.
What? Nah. What are you talking about? It's peaceful, cherry blossoms. It's gonna be a good time.
They're
Um,
not gonna be throwing rings, let's just put it that way.
yeah, yeah. And then Dungeon Race RPG, we are finalizing the core rule book for that, and so that will be coming out this year. Fiendish Fate, which is a system Red Rose Works is publishing for Jason Johnson, is going to be coming out this year. Um, I have a book that would be published in March called Crossover. And it's with Joe Prozit and I. We are writing essentially a crossover for fantasy and sci-fi lovers where you all are plugged in to the in library and we all live in a simulation world in between all the mundane times in our lives and a major glitch happens and takes the characters out of their simulation.
So
So
what
it's
you're
a
saying is you're writing reality. Okay.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Well, it's like the why came first, which is why are we telling this story? And it was, oh, it's because we're so separated from reality because of these things. You know what I mean? Like we can't go anywhere without it. And so it's like we're all plugged in and watching, and we all have our own simulation we're really living in on these things. And so that was the why we were telling the story. But you can check the crossover out. It should be on my table at GaryCon, so that'll be
Ooh.
exciting. You can also follow on socials and see it become available at those those points
I
as
gotta get to Gary Con.
well.
It's
That's
on
a
my
good one.
list.
Hi, Wes.
Hey, Wes.
Hope you had a fun game.
You know, I find it interesting. Wes usually introduces me to the people,
Yeah.
but he did not introduce me to you. I
No,
found you
that's
before Wes.
true. That's
Um, I thought that was interesting because usually Wes is the one introducing me.
yeah. Well, you
Oh,
both are absolutely wonderful, and I enjoyed hanging out with both of you guys at a pig.
absolutely.
Had a good time. Um, I don't know what else I was other things that I'm doing? I
Oh
don't know.
yeah,
There's so many.
there's so many.
There's so many things that I'm doing all at once that Dungeon Damsel, you need to check out Driskara. Um because of the fact that the backer kit is coming in March. So if you Google Driskara, that's Druskara, it'll pop up on Google for you. Sign up for that invitation list. So when it goes live, you guys can all be there.
Nice. She's so nice. I like her. Um, uh, let's see. Uh, what I think I'm out of questions. I literally do. I could sit here and talk to you forever, but I'm out of questions. Does chat have any questions? Let's make sure chat doesn't have anything before we leave, which they're on a delay. So now we're gonna sit here and
Da,
delay them
da,
for a
da,
while.
da, da,
Exactly.
da. Dance
Um,
break, uns, uns, uns.
I've got to. I would love to get you on playing a mass pause game. I think you do really well at it.
Yeah.
It's a team-based narrative animal superhero game.
Mm. Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun. It's like Paw
Mhm.
Patrol. Amazing.
Paw Patrol, it's more of like Darkwing Duck or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I love it. Okay, sweet.
So,
I'm down.
but
I just wanna play fun games. That's what I want.
exactly, me
I
too.
just wanna play fun games,
Um,
with cool
so
people.
okay, you've talked about all the games you've run and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the most coolest game that you've played recently?
Man, I don't know. Um, trying to think of a new system that I've played recently that
It doesn't
isn't
have to be new. Just
um,
what have you played recently that you've enjoyed?
I don't like, as a player,
Yep.
I don't do that often. Uh,
I think we need to get you into some more games often because
yeah,
just DMing all the time
I do
is
DM all
not necessarily helpful to your experience. In my opinion.
most of my life I was the player, and then I became the DM, and then I made my own systems, which made me like a forever
Forever
DM.
DM.
Yeah, in those systems. Um, Hi, Paige. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, wait, hold on.
Okay.
At Dragonfall Con, or no,
Yep.
Chaosium Con,
Okay.
Dimitri Del Castillo ran his setting for Call of Cthulhu, and
Nice.
it was so cool because it was like in the Gulf of Mexico, and it was this really crazy cult end of
Mm.
world, but there all of us were separate agents. We all had our own agendas. Like it was so crazy. Jerry and I actually got to play in that game, and we were twins, and for what like he gave us this description of like they're the creepiest things to ever exist. Like they're just so
In
unnerving to
sync.
be around. Yeah. And so we leaned into that character. And so Jerry wouldn't say a word. She would whisper into my ear and then I would say it. And she sat, she positioned her chair where she would like this was her face. And so she'd be like just peering over my shoulder the whole game. And I was like stoic the whole time. And I'd be like, "Ma, ma, 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 ma," like as I would like talk, like we really leaned into it. And so it was like it was really fun to just let out the creep, and portray that. And then Claudia, she ran a scribe quest for in RuneQuest, and so we were just non-combatants. None of us were we were all like these highly intellectual, like, oh well, I'm the
Well, I'm the
smartest
smartest
individual,
individual.
obviously. Like, how you don't know nothing. I'm the one who's going to be promoted to the head of the library. And so we were all kind of like competing for the same job as we were going cross country to deliver this package. And it was super fun and like so insane. We had people get married on this. It was like you would have thought it was like a 12 to 20-hour
20
game,
hour
but it
game.
was like 4.
Nice.
It was actually really fun and amazing. So I
All right.
enjoyed those games a lot, but it's hard. I enjoy every game I play in. I
What
haven't like hated one.
what project you got in mind that hasn't been started yet?
Oh, well, I do have one actually. It's a solo RPG, um, where I can't I don't wanna describe it yet because
Okay. But
it's
it's a
so
solo RPG.
yeah, it's a solo RPG, and I'll tell you, it's a noir detective style of game.
Nice.
So I will say that, but it's a solo RPG and it's like it delves into murder mystery. And it's something I'm really excited, but it's probably something I won't develop until 2028.
I know that feeling.
Just because my calendar is already booked out for next year, in terms of things to do.
So they're asking where they can find a copy of your system,
Yeah, so
which
if you go
should be Red Rose Works.
redroseworks.com. Yeah, so if you go to the game section and scroll all the way down, it'll take you to the shop. And so all of our game systems are there. DRR is not available yet to be bought, because it is still fine. Like we're still in the final ends of that development, and like getting it published and now into a physical book. But all of our one page dice dungeons is available on the site if you just scroll down in the games tab.
And to answer your question, DM tells no, she cannot tell us yet.
I cannot. I can tell you that it's in RuneQuest, and I can tell you that it is it's gonna be super fun. And that it is I'm trying to like see if I can give you a little inch. There I
It's
can't think
West. You don't have to give him an
I
inch.
can't think
Because you give him an inch, he'll try to take a foot sometimes.
I know. He tried at, Paige. I couldn't I was like, "Nope." No, it's really cool. Made, you know, it's made for people who want to do the thing, who want to try RuneQuest. So it's very digestible. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Sounds good.
RuneQuest is not normal like it's normally seen as this really big
It's
intimidating.
really hard, intimidating game
Yeah,
to get
but it's not.
into, but
It's
it's
really
not.
yeah, and so
But
this
it,
project is to showcase that.
I don't know if Neil's still here. Neil really likes it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
Wes,
I'm
you
pressed.
did
It's
a
my
good job.
job.
You do a good job, Wes. I'm a I'd rather not say anything.
I know nothing of requests though, so I'm kind of excited.
You'll love it, and if you go to any event, like, if you're going to Genghis, if you're going to Gary, if you're going to Origins, I should be at all 3 of those. I don't know 100% on Origins just yet, um, but I'll be running them. So, like, I'll be running those test plays, of those adventures, so you can come check them out.
And Lord Alfric, her system is so simple and so easy. You can already do it in Questline BTT. Um,
Oh,
it's really easy.
yeah,
If you don't know about Questline VTT, it's kind of like it's a more complex owlbear virtual
okay.
tabletop. So it kind of has your character sheet in it and stuff like that, where owlbear doesn't. But
Mhm.
it's fast and quick paced like owlbear.
I like
So
that. I mean, yeah,
um,
obviously, one-page dice dungeons, right? Like,
yeah,
I want
it's
something I can create a character and learn the entire system in under 10 minutes. That's what I want.
yeah.
Something boom, boom, boom.
Um,
I love it.
I also don't want to get rose fired. No, you don't. DM
Yeah, no,
tells.
thank you.
Um,
It would
we
not be
want
fun.
we want Rose to do more.
Yes.
Um, but not to the point where she gets exhausted and quits.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't burn her out.
yeah, don't burn her out.
Many have tried and many have failed.
Oh, there's gotta be a end
Oh,
to
there's
that
a
wick
threshold.
eventually.
There's a threshold, and I look at it, and it's a brick ceiling, and it's, like, right there at all times.
Um, all right, Rose, you are a doll to have on. Thank you for
Ah,
being here.
thank you for having
Um,
me.
and I think it's an hour and 20 minutes. I've taken up enough of your time. Uh, thank you everybody for being here. A couple things for myself that I need to mention before we leave. Um, February 1st, DM Tales, who's in the chat, Wes and I have an adventure coming out on Backer Kit. Um, it's a sci-fi horror adventure for Index Card RPG, Easy D6, and I'm making it for the Ironbound system. So, check that out. Um, I just put Mass Pause on Kickstarter, so if you can just type in Mass Pause, it comes up. Check out that. Sign up for the pre-launch, and so that you can be notified. Besides that, thank you again, Rose. Stick on while I end the stream, and then